there are all kind of effect on reproductive system, both in men and women. And therefore it is not a good idea to keep your either computer on your, but many people are not aware of this fact.
Well, that's why I brought it up.
Yeah.
So
And,
having your laptop on your lap,
yeah,
and
dangerous.
and many of us text with our phone against our stomach,
Yeah.
that could in
Yeah.
affect
Yeah.
the need for the probiotic. Would you agree?
Yeah, it is. Probiotics is because that directly affects, for example, during it has been demonstrated that at least during radiation therapy, the since they have already existed in a cancer patient, intestinal dysbiosis, once you give radiation or chemotherapy, that further aggravates. In other words, they further increase the number of toxic bacteria, and they interfere with the effectiveness of this radiation therapy and enhance the acute side effect of chemotherapy and radiation. And so it is important. So same thing, it also produces free radicals, and therefore it is also produced that this can further, and that's why you develop later on cancer, non-neurological, and other diseases, because this kind of thing is a slow progress. Damage is slow and progressive.
So we now know the importance of the EMF, both adult and children. We now know the importance of the probiotic because it's not only a probiotic of specific strains that you picked, but also the food that the probiotic needs for a prebiotic.
Right. It is very important.
It gives it longer time in the intestine to do its work, and it's much more virulent. It's a stronger probiotic than what we see on the market.
Yeah, because we added for example, if you take orally, the 2-1, which is generally present in a food, yogurt, lactobacillus and bifido, a strain of bacteria, and these are many species of each are there, but we selected few of them, and sufficient amount. But when you take orally, then 60 to 70% are destroyed in acid of the stomach. Some more destroyed at the bile acid of the intestine. So by the time it reaches lower colon where they form colony, very few are left. That's why it is not as effective. So we decided to pick up the 2 additional probiotics, which are acid resistance and heat resistance. One of them was Bacillus coagulans. Bacillus coagulans is the only probiotics approved by the FDA to be given in an infant formula. So, and it has been tested even in adult, which has intestinal inflammatory bowel syndrome and has some valuable effect. Not as good as ours, but has some effect. And second was the Saccharomyces boulardii. This is a yeast-derived probiotics, but this is because normally you have present in the gut yeast, fungi, many type of bacteria, they're already there. But this is and this also is heat resistance and acid resistance. So we added 2 that you will find in no other commercial product, and that's why our probiotics. And we added prebiotics because prebiotics, in a way, it is a food for probiotics.
Right.
Because and prebiotics is nothing but a soluble and insoluble fibers that we get from the diet, but we added a large amount so that enough is available for fermentation. And during fermentation, they produce a lot of useful, beneficial, like butyric acid, acetic acid, propionic acid. But butyric acid, we know it is a powerful anti-cancer agent. So you can see that why it is so important to have a probiotics with prebiotics.
I had to have some antibiotics for an infection in my leg, and I'm finding that my gut biome has been dramatically impacted. And so I've been taking the extra probiotic to get myself back online and feeling good.
Yeah.
But, my next product that I just love, I absolutely love the Omega. And one of the reasons I love the Omega so much is, and I told you about this shortly after I started taking it, I felt a significant decrease in pressure in my eyes. But I also noticed that I had a slight cataract in my left eye, and it started to clear. And I went from a 2.5 prescription down to a 1.0 prescription, and most of the time I don't even need them.
Mm.
And that was one of the effects that I had with the Omega. But tell us why our Omega is so uniquely different in the marketplace. There's nothing like it.
Yeah, but what omega-3 generally is considered essential fatty acid that you must have from your health, for your health. And one is omega-3 classical, which has a DHA and EPA. And then there is another omega-3 is called also EPA that you get from the diet. But the rate of conversion from EPA to DHA is very, very slow. And only a small percentage, 4 to 8%, get converted to DHA. So the brain gets sufficient, adequate amount, I wouldn't say sufficient, adequate amount. And EPA is more important for heart than for brain. And omega-3 that we have has both DHA and a EPA. And so it is very important to remember that our is the only product. And we have added a DHA and EPA in a 2-to-1 ratio, which has been tested clinically. It is very important to improving neurological function like dementia, or maybe even the eye is a neurological issue as well.
Well, we used it during COVID. We were doing straight fish oil and we were doing a 2-to-1 DHA over EPA to decrease inflammation during COVID for our patients. Go ahead. And then we have ALA.
Yeah, ALA. Yeah, ALA you get from the diet. But conversion of ELA to EPA and DHA is very slow. But another very important that people are not aware of, most of the people, I'm sure you are, omega-3 also, if person becomes insulin resistance in a case of diabetes, and they have tried everything possible, oral medication, injection, and still it is resistant. So what you do at that time? And they become insulin resistant, because insulin receptor gets damaged by oxidative stress and inflammation. And when you get damaged, it cannot activate a signaling molecule called AKT, or protein kinase B. And until you activate that molecule, the glucose transporter cannot travel to cell surface membrane to allow glucose to enter into the cell. That's why it becomes resistant, because receptor now cannot mediate that, cannot activate the AKT. But omega-3 directly activate, not through insulin receptor, but directly activate AKT, and therefore glucose transporter protein doesn't care how it is activated. They then travel to cell surface, from the cytoplasm to cell surface membrane, then allow glucose to come to generate energy.
That's fantastic.
Very important function.
Tell me about the borage oil. Why borage oil?
Borage oil is because this is very rich in ALA, and also it is rich in omega-6. And I know that people take a lot of omega-3, but I wanted to add omega-6 very tiny amount. And borage is one of the source where there was omega-6. And that's why we used, because it has a much more, 10 times more the ALA than it has omega-6.
And then we have flaxseed oil.
Yeah, flaxseed oil, yeah. And so that's the reason we use they use the commercial product. When they brought this attention to me, I said, this will be okay, because it has a small amount of omega-6, and we wanted to use a small amount from a good source,
right,
like borage oil, seeds.
Okay, I got to go to the collagen. This is one of my favorite stories about collagen. So our collagen is unique in the marketplace, and it's unique. I mean, it's collagen peptides, and it's got hyaluronic acid in it, and it's the 1 in 3 collagens, and then you came up with the enzyme inhibitors to inhibit collagenase and hyaluronidase. Now, here's my question. I just got to know. Were you sitting there and just going, what is it? I can't figure out what it is that inhibits collagenase and
Yeah.
hyaluronidase. And
Yeah.
then you're like, oh yeah, I had an amla tree in my front yard. I wonder if that works.
I mean, you have to do a lot of research on this kind of issue. But question is in your mind that, it is a billion-dollar industry, you know that,
Mm-hmm.
collagen peptides. And so I thought that, yeah, sure, people look good when you take collagen peptide, but the effect doesn't last long
Mm-hmm.
because you don't have an inhibitor. So they make a new collagen inhibitor. You have not done anything to inhibitor, so they continue to decline again. So I decided, okay, I will look it. Turned out amla was one of them. Amla has many Ayurvedic medicine. Amla has many other beneficial effects. It has some antioxidant, anti-inflammation. Most of the herbal product has that. And then I said, oh, okay, good. Is it sufficient? Or is there any other source? Look again, did research for a while and then found out that not green tea extract, but white tea extract also have. And some bright fellow does a combination, and a combination does more effective in inhibiting collagenase. And another was MPPS enzyme, which degrades collagen. And so that's very interesting that increased oxidative stress and inflammation in the main region why collagenous activity goes up.
Interesting.
That's very
Well,
interesting.
the collagen looks good on you, and
Yeah,
I'm
well, I
excited about
know.
it. Okay, so we've gone through my core four, and
And
I've been
for
trying to
so collagen
promise
peptide,
you.
is very, very important. As you know,
Yep.
uh, the collagen is 30% of your body has protein in your body is collagen that will present every place in brain, heart, you name it. And it is very important that if you decrease it, and there has been a study, at least in Alzheimer cases, the brain shrinks.
Right.
Shrinks, that function get disturbed. Same thing might happen to heart as well. And so all organs that we discussed. So we said supplementation is the one and only way you can increase the collagen level in your
Right.
body, and then you are okay. You have to do right from the beginning. When don't wait late when it shrinkens. And
So I have,
so another one is this is a Kort 4,
yeah.
and peptides is also important for facilitating the secretion and insulin from the pancreas to the blood. So that's also very effective in diabetes cases. But after Core 4, and as you know,
Like
we have written a paper. Okay.
digestive enzyme.
Yeah, I was going to say, digestive enzyme is extremely important because as you grow older, the capacity of your organ, pancreas, intestine, oral, all these organs which produces a pancreatic and digestive enzyme deteriorates, decrease production. And that's why you can't absorb protein, carbohydrate, and fat. And the result is that you get a constipation, bloating, and other kind of a uncomfortable feeling. Not only that, if the feces are not removed from your intestine, as you know, during digestion, many carcinogenic and mutagenic substances are formed. And if you stay there for a longer time, they will be absorbed slowly and have a consequence later on, health consequences. And so it is
Yeah.
important to remove them, eliminate them. And so digestive enzyme becomes very, very critical for older people. And once you have digestive enzyme in combination with probiotics, with prebiotics, your intestine is very healthy. It can prevent, it can also protect the intestinal wall integrity there so that no toxic bacteria can get into your bloodstream. It's very important. So intestine is happy, then your body is happy. Brain is happy, everything is happy.
3 minutes on sleep. I've already taken I'm already in trouble with your wife. So you're out of
Okay.
here at
Yeah, sleep.
7:55.
Sleep.
3
Okay.
minutes.
Sleep is 1 minute. Sleep is very important. And sleep disturbances, 1/3 of the people in the United States have sleep disturbance problem. And so the question is, you have anxiety, depression, many reasons why you have sleep disturbance. But if you have sleep disturbance, use our sleeping boost. Why? Because we have added here 3 milligram of the melatonin, which is your body produces for sleeping purpose. We have added also L-tryptophan, which makes more serotonin that calms you down. We have also added two herbal product, tulsi or holy basil and ashwagandha, and they have been tested in Indian subcontinent Ayurvedic medicine. Very important for sleep and calming effect. So these are very non-toxic and improve the sleeping. And I use it myself, and I sleep like baby.
I do too. I love it. Hey, real quick, because I'm going to wrap this up after you leave. But the eye boost is so critical. We're going to be doing a talk with a neuro-ophthalmologist, and I hope to be able to get you on there. But how are these devices affecting our eyes, and why is the eye boost so important?
The eye is so important because your retina part of the eye, which is like a camera, then put it to your brain. The highly oxygenated, when you're highly oxygenated, you generate a lot of free radicals. And some of the antioxidants that we use through the diet or by supplement goes there, but not sufficient amount. So most of the clinical study has been done by two pigment human hair, lutein and zeaxanthin. And they enter into the eye more than entire A, C, or E, but not enough. So what I was looking for, how I can make it different than what is commercially sold and has been tested clinically and has improved in eye function. Then I found that the birds and has a
eagles, pink flamingos, naked mole rats.
Yeah, they have what is called astaxanthin, so they can see the prey from high in the sky and then eat it. And so I said, astaxanthin, I never heard. So I did more research on astaxanthin. It accumulates in retina many times more than zeaxanthin or lutein. And therefore, your eye gets protected because now it has a sufficient amount of antioxidant and therefore highly oxygenated area they can generate, so they can prevent it as well as improve it, the quality, for example, in macular degenerations or some other kind of pressure, eye pressure, like my wife used to have eye pressure, but since she has started taking it, then pressure goes down, glaucoma. If you don't, pressure goes down, then you might end up blindness.
Well, and I'm just going to give everybody a little heads up when we do talk to this neuro-optometrist. Is that right, Jet? Optometrist?
He's an optometrist.
A neuro-optometrist. He said that myopia, where children can't see, it's increasing 50% every few years. It was an alarming rate because our children from very early on are looking at the screens with no protection for their eyes.
Yeah.
And so we're seeing children that are going from a 1.0 to a 3 to a 5 and even to a 10. They can't see and they have these big bottle glasses. So we're really on the cutting edge. There's no one who has what we have, no one who has the patents that we have,
and
no
then
one who has you. And non-toxic. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, I love you and I appreciate you immensely, but you have to go to dinner. Thank you for your time. This just seemed like it flew by.
Thank you.
I'll wrap it up for you. Thanks so much, Dr. Prasad. Love you.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Okay, folks. Woo!